Okay, so I've been thinking about this for a while. This is my wife's bike, which is a Pendleton Somerby. It's already an electric bike. It's got a Bafang electric wheel on the back, and the pedal assist sensor is on the drive side, so on the crank side. So I was looking at, I thought maybe I could fit a Swytch kit to this Pendleton Somerby, because the handlebars look like there's plenty of room, and I thought if I keep it basic, I don't use any brake sensors because I'm not going to keep this on, and the brakes are pretty decent, so it will be able to stop me. So I was going to put the pedal assist sensor on, put the Swytch kit on the front, change the front wheel, and just see if it works, as long as the dropouts are going to take it, because what I don't want to do is I don't want to file down the dropouts. It's my wife's bike and I'm not going to mess with it. I'm just going to do the bare minimum, but to see if I can get 2 electric wheels, 2 batteries, 2 pedal sensors on one bike and see how it rides. Okay, I've got a knobbly tyre, but I think there's enough room for the forks. Yeah. And this is a 26-inch mountain bike wheel. Go on, drop it. Oh, they fit. They fit that. This should be a very straightforward, very easy build. Because that can go on. Oh yeah, this is going to be good. So the brakes are rubbing at the moment, so I might have to take the brake blocks off. Let's show you what it's like. So there's room for the mudguard, so I can leave that on. I was worried the tyre was going to touch this, but there's plenty of room there. You can see that it's gone into the dropouts beautifully, and the only issue I've got are the V-brakes actually touch the tyre. Well, I'm going to have a similar issue as this on my Scott bike, which I've just washed. I don't really wash bikes very often. This one was already clean. I'm going to try and fit this wheel onto it, even though it uses 700C wheels. But I've got loads of caliper brakes, and it's got a central mount, I think, so I can try that. I've got loads of spare V-brakes. I'm going to see if I can somehow make one of my other brakes work so that it's long enough. In the case of this one, just going to run it with a back brake. I'm not going to use a brake sensor because it's just too much for a fit. I'm going to ride this for one day to work and back, and just have a little play on it and see what it's like. I'm just doing it as a proof of concept, really. So what's it like to have all-wheel drive on an electric bike? So let's take these brake blocks off. They spread anyway, so they're not going to get in the way of anything because V-brakes are sprung. So they might rattle a little bit. I might even cable tie them inwards a little because I like a bit of cable tie. So the wheel now turns freely and is not obstructed by anything, so I'm happy with that. Lovely. If I just do this up tight, then I can put the bike the right way up, and then this could be one of those 10-minute builds they talk about. I mean, I can see how, the kit will overwhelmingly fit a load of bikes, but the trouble is that obviously when you start talking about Bromptons and full suspension bikes and hydraulic brakes and all sorts of things, there's so many variables. I think the Swytch kit is amazing, and I think that if they were too realistic about how easy it was to fit, then some people would be put off. But I think the sense of achievement when if you do have something where it doesn't work. I mean, on my Scott, I'm going to have to get the Subaru out. There's no doubt about that, because it's not going to. The crank, there is no space, and it's got an eccentric bottom bracket, but I'll go through that in the next video. So that's on. I think I can turn this the right way up. You can see that looks good. Fits in brilliantly into the forks, as it did on my giant bike. I've got some suspension forks for my giant bike as well now, so that's going to be slightly different. Like proper heavy, and especially now that it's got an electric wheel on the front as well. So my front brake is a small issue at the moment. So what I'm going to do is pop a cable tie through, and as long as this stays on here and doesn't go over, that should stay in place, so that one can go tight. There's my cat in the background playing with my AirPods, which I'm going to look for later and I won't be able to find them. Right, so if I do this bit tight, then this can't come up. The brakes are tensioned anyway, so they're not going to touch the wheel, so that's fine. So I could fit brake sensors on there, and I've got to remember not to. Well, it doesn't matter because there's no tension anyway, is there? Because I've left this part out. And tidy this one up, but that's not going to go anywhere. That's tight on there. It's nowhere near the wheel, so I'm happy with that. So I just thought I'm going to end up with twice the power, not twice the speed obviously because they're speed restricted, but twice the power with half the brakes. But this isn't a bike you ride fast and reckless, you know. So I'll be sensible. Okay, so this bit should be quite satisfying. Nice and easy. Now I might need to put one of my cable tie spacers in there. I think it'll probably hold alright. Yeah, no, that's going to be alright. That'll be fine. Okay, so I just got to piece this back together because this has been on my downhill bike. There you go. Probably a good idea to tension this before you get it into place, because on certain bikes it might not be that easy to adjust. There you go. So that's got a little bit of movement, but it stays where you put it. So how much room we got? Oh yeah, look, no worries at all. The tube being thicker because all the cables go through it on the Pendleton, because obviously from scratch it was designed as an electric bike. Now I was going to just put throttle control on, but I think because this is going to be, looks like it's going to be so easy, I thought I'd do it with pedal assist, and I thought it was quite interesting to be able to get 2 pedal assist sensors on the one bike. So let's see how that looks. There you go. There's a bit of... There you go. So it's really hard to get the camera angle when you're showing this, but you can see there's a bit of space there, and you can see if you look through, this will be hard to get a camera angle. You can see there's a pedal assist disc in there on the chainwheel side. Right, so this will have to follow the tube up. So I believe in recycling, so I've got a couple of cable ties here which are recycled ones. So no Sugru, no grinding, no filing. Now we go with the Swytch bracket. Okay, so the thickness of this should mean that I'll have no issue with folding this over double. And under, remember you do the angle where you tilt it up and then drop it down and tighten it, which you'll see. I've covered this in my other videos, but I'll leave a little bit of this in. The bottom part, through the clamp. I've given this a bit of a wash off because I got it in a state earlier on going out on my downhill bike, which was amazing. I had a really good time. I don't know how to incorporate that into a video really. I don't know what I'm going to do with that footage yet, but I went out for, I don't know, an hour and a half all around the countryside and tried a load of different bits that I've never been to and bits that I had been to, but tried different routes of getting there and stuff like that. Right, so push that down a little bit. Off-road definitely takes more, because you're using more power and you're relying less on you out pedaling the pedal assist sensor. So you know, on the road quite often you get great battery life because you're going that little bit faster than the bike, and this is especially works when it's on the 15.5 miles an hour legal limit. But I had it set to 20, and so it was always staying on because I wasn't really going over that off-road I did on some of the road bits. So this is the pedal sensor. So where's the other orange one? There we go. So that one goes into there, lining up with the arrows. The light's not good in here. So say I'm not doing this with the same sort of level of detail as my other builds because it's a bit silly, really, isn't it? But it's a bit of fun. Okay, so that clicks on nicely. I think we're ready for a little bit of a test. Let's just turn this and see if it yeah, it's lighting up, lighting up, lighting up. So if I do it a bit faster. Whoop! That was close. I'm used to the bike just moving a little bit. That actually moved more than I thought it was, and I had to catch it because when it moved forward, it pulled the frame stand, and then obviously the bike tilted. Right, that's working anyway. Right, what's the battery showing us? The battery's showing quite full. Right, let's go out and have a go. Right, so we're both... Oh no, let's go pedal assist 9, right. So this is a steep hill, right? So I'm on pedal assist 9 now. And I've put it down that I'm not doing any of the powering, alright? So this is all the kit. So, double sensors. And it's a steep hill. And I'm whipping up here. That is ridiculous. So if I stop pedaling, just for this corner, a lot of water, isn't there? I've already changed my clothes today once because I got covered in mud. Right, so you can see it's quite, well, I don't know if you can tell on the GoPro, but it's quite steep. So I'm going to under pedal here and see how quick it picks up with both kits. So I'm not applying any pressure. And that's whipping up. Because obviously as long as it's under 15.5, both kits are still powering me up. Now this is a proper steep hill. And so what am I doing? 11.1 miles an hour. It's getting steeper and steeper. And obviously I could pedal with this. If I wanted to pedal with it, I could give it a bit more beats. But I'm literally just letting the motor do it, and the motors wouldn't do it on their own on either bike. God, when it kicks in, it feels funny because it kicks in quite severely because of both of them. Whoop. Oh, come in. Step back. Oh. So if I pedal with it, I give it. That is good. That's good acceleration. Just a back brake to go down here, it's a bit dodgy. It'll be interesting coming out of this subway because I do this quite often, so what I'll do is under pedal up this subway bit and see how little I won't put any pressure on the tool, so this will be all the two motors. I'll start pedaling now. Yeah, it's so easy. Oh, crikey. I'm not doing any work now. I'm totally under pedaling and it's whipping up the hill. I don't want to put my foot down here. This is like an ice rink. No way I'd get through without the Swytch kit. Still really slippery. I don't really know where I'm going. Whoa, that is wet. Whoa, that's wet. Woo. Oh, stream. Too steep. Maybe with a run up. We're slowing because I'm slowing. Now there's a view. Going up, still pretty steep. Because it's locked. So I'm going to pull off the battery, because obviously the battery's the heavy bit. Oh. Okay, this looks pretty steep. Crikey. But I don't know what's at the end, so that's pretty hairy. Right, pedal assist 9.